couple of important things that have happened in Manipur. The Naga woman that was shot dead, the cookie man that was shot dead, the two people, the victims of the fresh round of violence, face disfigured of the Naga woman, country weapons that have been found. Who has these looted weapons? Still, God only knows. And on top of that, the porous border, the plethora of socio-economic fault lines, but now the stands have been hardened. So separate administration is growing into a chorus of separate state. Internet bans, haven't been lifted. They continue to be in place. Mirabai Channu, India's Olympic weightlifter, who back in the day said that, when the WFI protest was at its peak and the wrestlers like, Phogat and Yogesh, they said we're going to give our medals, dip them into the, holy river. That's when Mirabai Channu said, I'm going to give my medals back again. Just please save Manipur. There should be no talk about dividing Manipur. Now that particular appeal has been put out again by Mirabai Channu. So what's happening in Manipur? What are you picking up? What's the latest?
See, as I told you, Manipur, it's going to become a very, very complex situation that I think we have let it simmer for such a long time that it's a shame that it is still going on in the way it is. There is one interesting article that I was reading from the Hindustan Times. It was like Manipur federalism price rise on opposition agenda. So the opposition has in fact also taken about the issue about Manipur as well. They have been speaking about it. Meanwhile, another thing that has come with regard to this is that the court, when it comes to the issue about Manipur, when it comes to the issue about Manipur on the internet ban, the SC has in fact refused to intervene in the lifting of the order given for the lifting of the internet ban. So that is left. They've asked them to go to the local courts that are looking into it completely. So what they have said is won't interfere with Manipur net ban orders, what the SC has said. Also, security forces blame local Manipur media. Now, this is another thing. Security forces in Manipur have complained to the Editors Guild of India about local media fanning tensions by circulating biased or false narratives of incidents that have the potential to hamper return to normalcy in the border state roiled by ethnic violence. Now, in their letter on July 13, the forces said that there are two issues here. One is the fake narrative that is being set up. The other pertains to allegations of bias. This has been sent to the Editors Guild and the Editors Guild regretted that there was a noticeable bias in the coverage contributing to divisiveness and violence. The Guild also advised all journalists to report facts and not take sides on the matter. Meanwhile, the 12-hour shutdown had been observed. We were talking about, as you pointed out, on the Naga woman's death. A 12-hour total shutdown was called to protest the killing of the 57-year-old woman.
So there are protests that are taking place.
Yeah, there are protests that are taking place. And the total shutdown impacted normal life in Chandel, Noni, Senpati, Tamil.
मणिपुर में अभी चल रही लड़ाई 3 महीने होने वाला है. अभी तक शांति नहीं ला पा रही है. ये लड़ाई की वजह से काफ़ी प्लेयर्स को ट्रेनिंग नहीं कर पा रही है और स्टूडेंट को पढ़ाई में डिस्टर्ब हो रही है. कई लोगों की जान जा चुकी है और बहुत सारे घर जल चुके हैं. मणिपुर में मेरा घर है. फिलहाल मैं अभी यूएसए में हूँ. आने वाली वर्ल्ड चैम्पियनशिप और एशियन गेम्स के लिए तैयारी कर रही हूँ. मैं मणिपुर में नहीं हूँ, फिर भी सोचती हूँ, देखती हूँ कि कब ख़त्म होगी ये लड़ाई. मैं अपील करना चाहूँगी कि हमारी प्राइम मिनिस्टर जी और होम मिनिस्टर जी को जो लड़ाई चल रही है इसको जल्दी से जल्दी ठीक करे और मणिपुर की सभी प्रजा को बचा लीजिए और मणिपुर की पहले से शांति जो है वो लाइए.
Like Mirabai Channu, who's on tour in the United States, training, practicing, she could have put out a more aggressive word, but it seems like it's really, really close to, the athlete's heart, the way that she's, talking in that message. And she's not trying to, save only one community. She's saying, sabhi praja ko bacha lijiye. Save each and every one. And the way she puts out the facts, it's not like the people who are away from Manipur also don't know. She knows it. It's going to be 3 months. So many houses have been burnt. So many guns out in the open. narco-terrorism, you name it, and Manipur is facing that problem.
I
And is this the end of the line? Do you need somebody like Mirabai Channu and her to appeal to the Prime Minister and the Home Minister to, take stern actions now?
See, these appeals have been coming in from many quarters. You had Maricom also making an appeal. We had Channu, now Channu also making that appeal. It only tells us that the situation is desperate right now. And we were reading about how the security forces, the kind of challenges they are facing on the ground. So why is it that we've not been able to crack this violence that happened? May 3rd, it's been happening, Kabir. Now it is what, July, today is July 18th. And that in fact shows that this violence has been continuing unabated for such a long time. It is affecting the people who are associated with the state, the people from the state. It's not a situation that we can not afford to actually do something about it. Though several peace efforts have been put in place, several issues have been raised up to this, several efforts have been carried out to ensure that different communities come to the negotiating table, but it's not been happening, and that is the concern. That this is not happening is the concern, and the violence is still continuing. And we remember, Kabir, you just showed me some of those improvised weapons that they are in fact building,
made out of uprooted electric poles.
I mean, they are getting these very crude weapons also onto the ground. And we were talking about looted armory, and then you have these manufactured crude weapons also, country-made weapons like your backyard mortars and other things. They're sophisticated weapons, but they're crude in a way. But that also coming into the picture, it's not a pretty situation right here that
Certainly.
we are looking at, and therefore it's going to be a challenging situation for the security forces, for the government of the day, and at the same time for the center as well. There are so many boots on the ground, and yet it's not been able to go ahead. And also the danger of ghettoization is already happening. There was already a physical kind of a boundary between both the populations, those who are from the valley and from the hills, and that has just become more sharper right now.